In case you've missed out on the major local and international news updates within the week, worry no more because we've got you covered. Join us on First Next News for a complete highlight of important stories from Nigeria and around the world. You can follow us on our YouTube channel at First Next News for full news reports.
Hello, wonderful viewers. Trust you're having a great day. Welcome you again to First Next News Port Harcourt. Today we'll be looking at trending stories on our national dailies and looking at stories that have been making the headlines throughout our newspaper headlines, and it is called the Newspaper and Review segment. My name is Zach Jimmy and I'm here with Kings Ojalo. Kings Ojalo, good morning.
Good morning, Zach.
All right, always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, without much ado, let's go straight to the papers we have here. And the first here on the list is the Punch newspaper, and the lead story this morning is about Rivers State and similarly Fubara, and the story is written thus: uncertainty in Rivers as Fubara delays return. Yes, uncertainty in Rivers as Fubara delays a return. Also on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, we also have I call this a memo from Osun PDP that says Osun PDP asks Federal High Court CJ to probe suspicious letters on Osun local government funds case. And on the top front banner of the Punch newspaper, there's also a story here that says manufacturer imports widens 1.4 trillion naira trade deficit. You can find out on page 9 on the Punch newspaper. Let's go check also what we have on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And also, Rivers State have been making the headlines. Yes, also on the front page here is Assembly resumes sitting. Fubara fails to show up. That's the lead story on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And also on the front page here on the right hand banner, just before we have the Vanguard inscription there, we have here that government ends passport production at multiple centers after 62 years. You can find out, you can read that particular story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. You also have marketers want us to increase pump price by Dangote to 75 naira. That's, you can find that at page 13, the Vanguard newspaper. Also on flood alert, we also have the story: federal government raises fresh alarms as river Niger, Benue, and reach peak level. You can take that particular story on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. And before I let you go on the Vanguard newspaper and allow my colleague here check whatever he has there, I think you have more papers, right?
Yes.
All right, good. Let's take this paper, this particular headline on the Vanguard that says Plateau targets Middle East markets to boost economy, says Mufwa. All right, you can click that particular story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Kings Ojalo, let's see what we have there.
Yes, on this day we have Osun PDP asks FHC Chief Justice to probe suspicious letter in local government fraud crisis. Then we also have on that same this day we have Zenith Bank cross earning hit 2.5 trillion in H1 2025, declares 1.25 naira interim divided. Then still on this day we have Governor Mba Enugu will use coal to generate 1,000 MW of electricity. Then still on this day we have come and invest in Enugu. We are open to business. All right, I think that's a great one from Enugu, the whole city of the country, that coming from the executive governor Peter Mbas, saying, well, they're going to use that particular natural resources to generate IGR for this. A very great one. So let's also go straight to the Daily Sun this morning. So also in Rivers State, the story, Rivers State making the headlines of this morning, and this story says Rivers Assembly to probe Ibas. Ibas is done, so I don't know if it's going to be possible for them to probe him. The lead story also in that particular headline says Atiku ADC tackle Tinubu over emergency role. Yes, and Fuba restatement. Rivers elders preach unity and reconciliation. That's also a lead story there. Also the Daily Sun on the front page, the lead by the left corner, you can also read on page 29 that says Governor Mba, just that particular story you highlighted. I don't need to go into that anymore. I don't know. Do you have a nation newspaper with you? Yes.
Okay, let's see what we have there.
The Nation on the front headline, we have Nigeria UL Seal Healthcare Partnership. You find that on page 3 of the Nations. Then we also have POI granted adaptation fund accreditation. Then still on the Nation, we have why Fubara delayed return.
Why Fubara delayed. So you may likely want to go read why Fubara actually delayed his return. So we round up this particular segment and then we give you more information on this. You can go grab a copy of these papers and read for yourself for the details. But before we go, let me quickly take you on the Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune. The story here says supporters strong Port Harcourt streets. I think it's all about Fubara and all about Fubara. And okay. That's all for now, because as if all the stories are just about Fubara and Rivers State, of course, Nigeria as a whole. So that's the size of our package this morning on the newspaper headline and review. My name is Zach Jimmy, and I also have here Kings Ojalo. Do well to follow this channel, subscribe to First Next News Port Harcourt. Stay tuned. I will keep you updated on more developments that you may want to listen. Thank you very much. See you again.
Hello everyone, welcome to First Next News.